What's going on, Charity Athletes? In today's video, we're going to be reacting to Alex Hormozi's diet plan. So Alex Hormozi is all over YouTube. You've probably seen him. Does a lot of like business and entrepreneur type of content. And he's also a really jacked guy. So that's what I wanted to make today's video on. He has a video where he talks about his diet plan. And I think overall, Alex is a really good dude because he just has like a really no BS approach to making money and staying fit and just how to sort of manage your life in a simple way, because people in today's world on the internet like to complicate that. So we're going to be reacting to his diet plan. But before we get into the video, I also have some thoughts on diet. Just wanted to let you guys know about this free PDF that we have, which is my super simple diet for staying lean year round. I eat in a very basic way. Anyway, you can download the PDF right here. The link's popping up on the screen, but you can download it, print it out. It has my food list. Doesn't have any recipes on it, but it's just sort of my philosophy for how to make eating to build muscle and lose fat fun, enjoyable, delicious, etc. So check that out. And right now we are going to react to Alex Hormozi's diet.
I've eaten dessert virtually every night for 20 years. I have never skipped dessert, and I've been able to maintain a six-pack for that entire period of time. I have done a lot of different diets, keto stuff. I've done high carb, I've done low carb, I've done high fat, I've done intermittent fasting, alternate day fasting, carnivore style eating, whatever.
So right there, I already want to say it's really interesting that, first of all, he talks about eating dessert every single day, which is totally doable if you are able to still maintain a calorie deficit and not overeat. So nothing crazy there. One thing that I like that he said is that he tried all these different diets, and the dude's like really fit. And all the photos that you just saw of him, like he's fit in every single one of those photos with every single diet that he's tried. So I think this is important to note because, guys, so many different types of diets may or may not work for you, and it's really about finding a system of eating. I don't like to call it a diet. I like to call it a system of eating that best benefits you and allows you to reach your goals, which can look very different for different people.
10 years, I've pretty much eaten the exact same way, be able to have business dinners, be able to have drinks. Many of the entrepreneurs that I know who've seen me eat and been around me a long time end up adopting this and they never go back. What I'm not saying is this is the most scientifically researched, whatever. I'm just sharing what worked for me. If something works for you, just keep doing that.
Yes, dude. Yes. Good stuff, Alex.
Number one is you have to figure out what your goal is. You're either trying to get bigger, you're trying to get smaller. From there, you start at number 7 all the way up to 21. My videographers will put it right here, 7 to 21. And every 3, you go from extreme weight loss to moderate weight loss to maintenance to moderate weight gain.
I don't know what he's about to do here, but he's already losing me with this math. No, I'm just playing.
To extreme weight gain.
No, I'm not.
You have to do is multiply your body weight. So I'm gonna use 200 pounds as my average because it's easy with math. So let's say I'm a 200 pound guy and I wanna get leaner. I'm gonna go to moderate cut, which is the second from the bottom here of these 3, which you've got 10, 11, 12. And I'm gonna say 10 because it's easy math. And so I'm gonna multiply 200, which is my weight, times 10, which is this coefficient, which gives me, drumroll please, 2,000 calories, all right? Now, if you're like, doesn't it change? What about my exercise? And what if I have a physical job? Doesn't really matter. If you lose too much weight too fast, go to 11. You can.
Ooh, I really like that, Alex. So what he's saying here is that, and this is what I try to talk about this all the time. Like, we have a nutrition calculator, by the way. It's linked up in the description and on the screen. So no nutrition calculator is going to be perfect. And I think that's where people go wrong. They try to figure out how many calories they should be eating. And then if it's not working for them, instead of changing it, they're like,
oh no, like this device or this method isn't working. It's like, dude,
there's no like silver bullet for knowing exactly how many calories you're supposed to eat. The whole point of tracking your calories and figuring out how many calories you're supposed to eat is to eat that way consistently and then see how your body is reacting to it. If you're losing too much weight too fast, like he's saying, then you need to up your calories a little bit. If you're not losing any weight, then you probably need to lower the calories a little bit. The point is you need to get used to being able to be flexible with this because there's no perfect formula. If you don't have any jump ropes and you want to jump ropes lose weight, the best one on the market is linked up below. For 15% off, enter code DO THE THING. And yeah, you get a 60-day money back guarantee. I talk about CrossRip all the time. They're the best ropes that you're going to find if you're trying to lose weight and become an athletic freak. So check them out.
Adjust it. We've got 2,000 calories. Great. Here's step 3. You multiply your weight, 200 pounds again. You multiply it by 1. Really hard math. Means 200 grams of protein. Some of the science nerds are gonna be like, you can only metabolize 0.7 grams per. Don't give a shit. Every pound.
This is why I really like Alex. Like, he's right. Do I think 200 grams of protein? So I weigh like, I fluctuate between 190 pounds and 200 pounds. I definitely am not eating that much protein every day. Some days, if I hit Korean barbecue, I probably hit like 200 grams of protein. But on a regular day, I'm having like one really large meal, and throughout the day, I'm probably only getting like 100 grams of protein. Some days it's like 70 grams of protein. Other days it's like 150. But the point is, I'm also not trying to grow and be super massive. I'm trying to be lean. That's my goal. But also, I just love how he's like describing, dude, it's not perfect. Like all these people out here arguing like,
no, it's 0.7 grams or 0.8. Like
they're missing the point of, he's just basically saying, make sure that you prioritize your protein, which is what I've said in a lot of other videos.
Pound of lean meat, white fish, ground turkey breast, 96.4 ground beef, shrimp, whatever. A pound is 100 grams of protein. So if you need 200 grams, you need 2 pounds. And that's if you exclusively ate meat. I tend to eat over my 1 gram per pound. I like eating protein. It fills me up. I feel good on it. That's why I do it. If you don't eat as much, don't. Now we're back to the math.
Yeah. I mean, I probably eat 1 pound of meat per day, so like 1 pound of ground beef. I don't like to eat 2, not that I haven't, it's just like that is a lot of meat. I don't think that like red meat causes heart disease, but like again, I am a believer in everything in moderation, so I just won't, eating just 2 pounds of ground beef every day sounds like a lot. But again, what he's saying is like, I mean, it's better 200 pounds of ground beef than, you know, 4 bags of Lay's potato chips, so he's not mistaken, but that is a lot of protein. And if your goal is to be lean and cut, you don't necessarily need that much.
This is the last math equation we're gonna have to do. We have 2,000 calories and we know we have to eat 200 grams of protein. All you have to do is figure out what 2 pounds of meat you wanna eat or where you wanna get your 200 grams of protein from and figure out how many calories are in that thing. These 2 pounds of meat are both turkey. I eat turkey for both meals, crazy. These are both 560. I know that that's a lot.
Ground turkey.
That's how many calories I have of protein that I eat in my day. So I subtract my calories associated with those meals from my 2,000 in this example, and I would have 880 calories left over. Those 880 calories, here's the magic of how this works. You can do whatever you want with them. If you need to go out to a business dinner, you wanna have drinks, cool. Well, cocktail's probably 150 calories. Have 2 of those and have a 500 calorie meal of whatever you want. Because again, you've already got your protein in. You could just stay at home.
He's not wrong here. Like in terms of weight loss, this is kind of the whole like if it fits your macros methodology. Guys, honestly, like it's sort of true. Like he's not wrong. You can definitely lose weight and still maintain a really good physique. The reason I don't like telling people just eat whatever you want is because if you tell people that, like, oh, you can like use the rest of your calories to eat ice cream. Dude, ice cream tastes pretty good. And I'm not just gonna stop when I'm like, oh, I hit my calories, I'm done. Like, no, usually I end up eating a whole pint, which is way more than 800 calories. So I think what I like to tell people is like those remaining calories, just eat fruit and vegetables and like real whole foods like we talk about on this channel. You can definitely have ice cream and drinks. Like I enjoy drinks and ice cream, but I don't take the mentality of like, oh, okay, I've had my protein, so I'm just gonna eat food for the rest of this. Like I still believe that your internal organs crave nutrient dense food, hence fruits, vegetables, things like that. So don't go totally off the rails, but he's not wrong here when it comes to losing weight.
Home and have an entire pint of ice cream that's 880 calories. Or each of these cookies is probably 400 calories. You could have 2 of them and that could be your dinner. It doesn't matter. And mind you, that's with a cut. That's with me trying to lose a pretty significant amount of weight. Now I actually maintain, because we're going to this 3rd chunk, right? In this 13 to 15 chunk, if I multiply my body weight, I'm more than 200, but let's just say it's 200 for math's sake, times 15 is 3,000 calories. So I would have an extra 1,000 calories on top of that 1,000 if I did that same thing. Instead of having 2 of these cookies, I could have like 5 of these cookies for dinner, or I could have 2 of these bites and still have some food. I eat the same breakfast and lunch every day. I start my day with, let's call it a 200 calorie bar, you call it a brownie, it doesn't matter. If I'm traveling, I might not have this with me and I'll grab a Quest bar at the airport, right? 200 calories and 20 grams of protein, one of those bars. And then I have a shake, and this is 30 grams of protein and 160 calories. I'm in for 360 calories for my breakfast. I got 50 grams of protein knocked down already. Then I go to my lunch. I have a pound of turkey.
I love how, like, this is the exact same way that I eat, by the way. Like, he doesn't stress about, like, if he's traveling, he'll get a Quest bar. Should you be eating 5 Quest bars a day? Probably not. But, like, if you're traveling, you're on the road, and you need a quick breakfast, dude, get a Quest bar and a chocolate milk. Like, you're fine. I think the overall thing, again, is, like, make the best decisions that you can make with whatever you have in front of you, and just, again, don't overeat. That is always the main theme.
Which we already know is 560, and I actually only eat half of one of these guys. 1 1 cup of rice, I now have 150 grams of protein and 1140 in terms of calories that I've eaten so far. Mind you, I have 3,000 calories just to maintain. All right, not bad. So now I go to dinner. Dinner is the big flex meal for me. Now, I also tend to eat a pound of protein at dinner. Do I need to? Absolutely not. Do I want to? Absolutely. I love eating protein. I feel good when I eat meat. If you didn't, let's say you were...
I will agree with him there. When I mostly just eat protein and non-processed foods, I just feel good and I'm able to get to my goals. And I don't feel inflamed and puffy.
150 pounds and you'd already eaten 150 grams of protein up to this point, your entire dinner could be whatever you want. Pretty cool, all right? As long as it equaled out to the total amount of calories you want. And I do this also because then I'm full. If I just eat cookies, I'm usually not full. This has worked for a very long time. I actually had a couple of guys stop me and say, dude, you made this nutrition video and like I lost 50 pounds using it. Like, thanks so much. I get a bunch of DMs about this stuff. And so this is really what I eat every day. Somebody's like, where's your greens? I have a multivitamin and I continue to stay alive. And guys, I've stayed away from fitness stuff mostly because like there's all these armchair debates and like, I just don't care. If you want,
Dude, he nailed it right there. There's so many people arguing about what's best and like there's so many conflicting arguments with all this and there's actually no solid proof that any of these sensationalized things or like perfect routines that people are doing are actually keeping them alive longer. Now, breathing air, that's a pretty common scientific fact. You know, you gotta like, if you want to stay alive, you need to breathe air. But many things in the fitness world, I have learned, are up for debate. So it's best to stick to simple, basic practices that we know are good for you, like sleeping, drinking water, eating food that's not processed, like actual food. There's a lot of other things that I think people, it's like kind of just a big circle jerk and people are wasting their time.
I can do a part 2 on how I train as an entrepreneur. It's different than if you were like a pro bodybuilder or a strongman or a powerlifter or Olympic lifter or just a normal gym rat. I can make that a second video.
All right, so overall, this video is awesome, man. This is why I like Alex, because he's super simple and to the point. My only critique of his is he does kind of have this like attitude when it comes to like, oh yeah, just eat whatever you want like for the rest of your calories. And he kind of has that attitude towards like a lot of things. It's like, screw this, whatever, like sort of a contrarian belief. But I also feel like I'm a contrarian in a lot of ways, which is why I like him. But my only critique is like, don't just eat protein and then get the rest of your calories from whatever you want. Like I have noticed benefits in my life by having a well-rounded diet of fruits, vegetables, lean meats, red meats, fish, nuts, eggs, things like that. Like I just tend to feel good when I eat a wide variety of food and when I don't eat ice cream and cookies and stuff like that. So that would be my only critique of what he's saying. But another thing too, like his formula for how to count your calories or how many calories you should be consuming is pretty accurate. And the thing that I want to stress again is no person who tells you like, oh yeah, this is how many calories you should eat. It's just a guesstimate. The number that you're going to get on the JRD calculator, it's going to give you something and then you need to follow that and then adjust accordingly to that. There's no perfect, you know, like I said, silver bullet. Same thing when I talk about like how many calories did this workout burn? Well, it's going to be very different and variable for different types of people. So overall, I think what I like most about Alex is he's all about keeping it simple, and keeping it simple is what I feel like actually gets people to their goals, because the more simple you can be when you remove the complexity of things, the more likely it is that you're going to stay consistent. And the reason that I feel that people achieve their ideal physique or better health is just because they pick a few like tangible things that they can do and they do them all the time. It's not about constantly being on this roller coaster and watching new YouTube videos and finding out like a new supplement to take that's finally going to get you there. It's like doing the basic stuff right. So with that, that's my reaction. Comment below if you guys would like me to do more of these videos. I really enjoy doing this because I just love to just make this easy, man. I just feel like people overcomplicate things a lot in fitness and health. So here on Jump Rope Dudes, we're gonna make it easy for you so you can look and feel good and live to be super old. Leave a comment, say what up, and I'll talk to you guys soon.